Hello, my name is Sebastian Salicru. I'm a business psychologist and I specialize in the areas of leadership development, building high-performance teams and organizations. And today I'm going to talk to you about the leadership psychological contract, which is a model that I've developed through my PhD research. The beauty of the psychological contract, as you probably know, is that it's a very portable framework, because any relationship really has a psychological contract, whether it's at work or outside of work. And it's very interesting because I identified at least 11 other areas in which the psychological contract has been used and published. The leadership psychological contract is a perspective on leadership. And this perspective on leadership assumes that leadership is a relationship between the leaders and their followers. And I say followers, but what I mean is collaborators, associates, team members, or the constituency. Every leader's got a constituency. So the leadership psychological contract looks at that relationship. And like any relationship, there is a contract. And I'm not talking about a written contract. I'm talking about what's called a psychological contract. This is a contract that is unspoken, unwritten, and contains all the expectations of both parties. Now, this psychological contract has two main components. One is what's called the health or the state of the contract. And the other one is what we call the consequences of that contract. So a healthy contract, which contains three variables, which is the fulfillment of members' expectations, the levels of trust on the leader, and the levels of fairness or the perceptions of fairness in the leader's actions, determine the consequences of the contract, which basically is four key variables. The commitment that the followers will have, the levels of satisfaction, the amount of discretionary effort they're going to put into it, and the innovation or creativity they're going to put into it. And I just would like to explain those a little bit more. The commitment is what we call affective commitment. It means the degree to which followers or team members are emotionally connected to the leader and to the team. Satisfaction is the degree to which people are happy with that leader and work in that team. Discretionary effort is about action. It's about the degree to which people are prepared to go above and beyond the call of duty, to do a lot more of what's expected of them, not because people tell them, but because they want to. And innovation, really what it means is that people are open to change. Are people open to embrace change, to look at new ideas, to implement new ideas, and to champion new ideas. So once we got those four elements, then that leads to extraordinary levels of performance, or what we also call sometimes performance breakthroughs. So what happens is that relationships become very important because you get different providers from different cultures that very quickly have to deliver high value outcomes. So the quality of relationships impacts performance. One of the main benefits of the leadership psychological contract is that it provides a model, if you like, that we can measure and diagnose the impact of leaders in the followers. We can actually diagnose and predict how the levels of performance are going to be. One of the important things that this gives us that we can look at is what's called a psychological contract breach or violation. A breach or violation or an under-fulfillment of the expectations of that contract leads to very low levels of performance. Conversely, when we've got very high levels of fulfillment, when the expectations are there, when high levels of trust and high levels of fairness, this leads to very high levels of performance. So that's one of the major advantages of the leadership psychological contract, that it provides the opportunity to measure, to quantify that relationship, what's the health of that relationship, and therefore we can predict how the levels of performance are going to be for that team or even for that organization.